Alright.
Devil May Cry.
I'm actually going to change the music from Devil Trigger before I get going. And make sure the audio is working. Alright, looks like we're good. And I need to turn on Divergence before I forget. Divergence, yeah. Okay. Just moving. Bear the Light's probably a relatively basic pick, but I'm gonna go with that because it's good. Alright. This is absolutely the last V mission that has like anything of note to talk about, considering mission 14 is just kind of a... It is technically a boss rush, but it's pretty watered down compared to the ones in... Well, 1 and 4. I can't really speak to the 1 and 3. Honestly, the most notable part about this mission is that there's a fight with 2 Judekas and a fight with 2 Proto-Angelos, which take a while. So I'm gonna want Buster Arms for both of those. Maybe... Honestly, might open with the Buster Arm for the Judeka. For one of the Judekas, then maybe an Overture Gerber or 2. Not Punchline for the hell of it. Another Overture. Buster Arm, and then I like to have the Gerber as my last, just because its utility is nice. Especially it's not that hard. I made the comment yesterday that the fight with 2 Proto-Angelos takes fucking like 10 minutes as V on this difficulty just because they're incredibly chunky and he doesn't actually kill them that fast. The summons don't do bad damage per se, but it doesn't really compare to Nero or Dante or Virgil. That should do it, yeah. The thing about the Buster Arm is that even just its normal application does more damage than Devil Trigger Busters. But there is the fact that it breaks if you get hit doing one. And that the Super Buster is just strong. Exceedingly so. It shouldn't break since I'm in DT, but maybe. Okay. Alright, well, whiff. That could have been bad. Yep, okay, that's concerning. Last thing I want to do is get hit by a DT Behemoth, that shit hurts. Well, especially this move. This move does like 8 or so bars if it hits you. There we go. Yeah, Behemoths... It's kind of weird that they're... I wouldn't really say they're among the most dangerous enemy types in the game, but they can totally fuck you up if you let yourself get hit.
Let's get airborne.
They're a weird enemy type, especially with how both durable and not durable they are, depending on how you handle them. Like, I do believe they have the highest raw health value out of all enemy types, but at the same time, their Buster does a lot of damage, and they have some kind of damage multiplier if you hit them in the tongues. I don't know what exactly it would be, but they definitely take a lot more damage there. There's gonna be a couple of Antinoras up here, and I think a Permadeath off that. Honestly, I don't remember which one's which. They're bats, it's the big one. I hear it already. That's gonna hurt. Yep. Though I have the Buster arm, I'm probably gonna end up doing a bunch of normal Busters, just kind of by instinct. Generally speaking, when I use the Buster arm, it's for the Super Buster rather than just normal ones. That? Oh, we killed both of them. Alright. I kind of wanted to Buster the bat when it was exploding, because you kind of toss it, but guess not. This is going to be the fight with two Judekas, which one of them I should be able to rinse immediately with the Buster arm, but we'll see. That one got knocked in the air, but I was too high. Fuck. Come here. Keep whiffing. Oh, I never said I had to bust them. You can kill them normally. It'll just take a while because they like to teleport. Weird thing about 4 is that aside from the just generally lesser moves Nero has, a few of his moves handle a lot differently. I think the B combo, which is the one where he just kind of slams his Red Queen into the ground a lot. In 4, that one, it kind of like takes a bit of time to build up, while in this, it pretty much gets to speed immediately. It doesn't do a lot of damage in either. I actually don't like it very much when it comes to actually killing things. It just is nice for variety's sake. But in 4, the first like 3 hits are really goddamn slow, but then he gets up to speed. Well, in this one, it's pretty immediate. Yeah. Nope. Well, would have liked to Buster him, but I think I was too far away. There we go. Yeah, Judekas get to be really annoying when they're the last ones around. Because they just kind of keep teleporting away, and you can knock them in the air, which is not particularly easy to do to begin with, because they have a bit of armor. And when they're in DT, it's damn near impossible. But that's probably the easiest way to kill him, is if you knock him in the air, but you couldn't really do that to that guy. Thinking about it, this chapter is a bit weird in its enemy formations in that 3 of the, I think, 5 mandatory fights prior to the last one has you fight 2 high-tier enemies that you usually only fight 1 at a time with other lesser enemies. That being the Judekas, which we've already done. There's going to be a fight with 2 Lysakias later. And then the last one, which is 2 Proto-Angelos and a couple of Death Scissors. The Death Scissors are not particularly high-tier, they're just kind of annoying to deal with when there's also, you know, the Protos. will explode. The thing about the song when you play as Virgil is that Virgil is so unapologetically busted in this game that you don't get to hear it for that long. Especially since the character-specific songs honestly don't play all that much in this game. It's mostly the first, like, 9 missions. Actually, most of the first 12 missions, actually. Missions, like, what, 13, 14, and then 16 to the end, you pretty much don't hear them. And then missions 7 and 8 as well. You don't hear the character-specific songs. It just has, like, kind of like Clive-Hop music, which isn't actually bad. I like Mission 16's track a bit, but it's just the character songs are so much better. Even Crimson Cloud, which I'm not super keen on, comparatively to the other 3. I mean, Subhuman I didn't used to like, but it has seriously grown on me. I'm not gonna bother with that. Yeah, man, that Judeka, fucking, he get hit like 3 times in this difficulty and you're at risk for the rest of the mission. That said, you get good enough at this game and you can avoid well enough. It's honestly not that stressful until you're in one-shot range, which I definitely am for certain enemies. Like we saw yesterday where there was a proto that did fucking 11 bars to me in 1 hit. If that happens again, I'm just gonna die, but I should have a bit more health by then because of DT. And who knows, maybe something will be nice enough to drop some. And if I don't deal with you... If I hadn't interrupted him, that could have... I don't think it would have killed because he wasn't in DT. It wouldn't have done enough, but it sure as hell would have hurt. DMC4 is weird, in that, like, comparatively to this, enemies are much weaker on DMD than they are in this game, in that one. They're less durable and they generally don't hit as hard. But the fact that the enemy design sucks as much as it does in that game honestly makes it harder. Like, Chimeras? Or I guess, yeah, actually no, Chimeras would be the right way to say it. Those guys fucking blow on DMD. I mean, pretty, like, half the enemy types in that game too, actually. I mean, DMC4 is not a good enemy design. I still enjoy the game, but God, is it painful sometimes. I'd consider doing something like this for that, but DMC4 is basically just half of a game that you play twice. Even if I modded it to play as Nero the second half, which I don't even know if that's possible. So it wouldn't be particularly interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. I've stood in that coffin before, and I didn't know there was like a red orb thing there. Anyway, hey fellas. Alright, let's steal. Just gonna wail on the Death Stages. I'm not too concerned about going for the parry right now. I'm just gonna try and get rid of him. And get some DT mileage while I'm at it. I wasn't even going for that parry, but I'm not gonna argue with it. Get down here. Alright, you know, that works too. So what happened when I did this mission SV is that the 2 protos came down here, and then I basically just stood right here, and they decided not to jump up. So I was basically just sitting there, attacking them at no actual risk myself for quite a while. And since it's the last fight before the quote-unquote boss, I can just kind of go with... These Gerberas were supposed to be for some of the insider rooms, but I didn't actually end up using them. Yep, if I hadn't gone into DT, that would have hurt a lot more. Let that happen, I was careless. Alright, they're both a DT, I ought to be careful. Yeah, the last thing I want is to get hit by one of those right now. I want to go for the Buster and just get rid of one of them, but I don't think I can really do it safely. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of it and switch to Gerber. Not worth going for it. Being injured against Proto-Angelos and DT is a remarkably stressful experience because these guys take forever to kill, and they deal a shitload of damage in DT, so... You guys good? Boy, if DT activation didn't have iframes, I might be dead. I'd be less ashamed about dying to Protoss than I would be to dying to Nidhogg. This guy's almost dead. That said, so am I. Oh, dude, you have no health. Come on. Alright. There we go. Like I said, a remarkably stressful experience. Is out of DT? Like some of those attacks where they run at you before attacking, those might have killed me. If they hit out of DT. Actually, probably would have. Ugh. Shit's rough. I mean, Proto-Angelos are fucking... I'm honestly more scared of them than I am of most bosses in this game.
No such thing as
really, most of the hard bosses in this game are in the late game, which, you know, that just kind of makes sense, difficulty ramping, but... Even some of the later game bosses I don't think are that hard, like Malphus. I've never died to Malphus, I really don't think she's a tough fight. Just to get topped off. Gonna see how quickly I can rinse this. It's gonna be 3 nobodies, and I don't remember if they're more durable than they usually are, like the Angelos in Mission 7 were. Alright, that's one already. Pop that. Local man forgets how to exceed. Goddamn. No, it's not my best. And that's 2. Last one went to DT. I'm at full health though, so I'm not at that much risk. Not yet, at least. Ah, shit, he's enraged. Well, looks like you're gonna have to go legitimately. You can hear its eye rolling around. Oh, wait, is he? Are you in your dejected state?
Let's get airborne.
Oh, that's oh, that's sad. Sorry, dude. Oh, I thought you could just busted him. There we go. Alright. That is the last, like, actual V mission, and now we're going into the missions that are normally Dante's. Which, Dante, generally speaking, gets the hardest missions in the game, so this is where it's going to start ramping up. I think I said this in the first stream, but Mission 12 is the first mission that I'm, like, legitimately worried about in advance because I blow at that Urizen fight. It's very possible I kick it there. Mission 11 is also probably risky just because Cavalier is actually kind of tough on this difficulty, but I should still be fine. But this mission, actually, it's notable because there's, like, a divinity statue pretty early on, but then there's, like, 4 or 5 fights without any more, so you kind of have to make the Devil Breakers last. Just trying to think, there's 2 fights before the first divinity statue. with a Queen of Pusa and a Judecca that I kind of want to just get out of the way. Alright. Yeah, so normally where you'd get you introduced to Dante, you know, good old rebellion, sword trick. But, and honestly, this mission is probably one of my missions 10 and 12 are probably my least favorite in terms of normal missions that aren't just like boss fights. Just because I think a lot of the enemy setups in these missions are annoying as hell. And they are remarkably difficult to get good style rankings on. And I think the reasoning for that is that fights in these missions are kind of short, and style ranking is based on your average throughout the mission, so it can get remarkably tough to get an S rank. The only mission I don't have an S rank on in this difficulty is mission 18, and that mission is its own can of worms, because that mission's fucking rough. Like, that might be... I don't know, Nightmare is just a brutal boss, especially in DMD. Like, it's a weird duality that boss has, because it's like the only boss that even on higher difficulties there is ways to pretty easily heal during it. But at the same time, you're fighting two dangerous pseudo-bosses, and then Nightmare himself does a shitload of damage if you're not careful. But who knows? We'll see how that fight goes. I'll probably just like spam ragtime, since stuff like Overture isn't really useful for it. I'll take that.
Take your time. Oh.
Okay. That's some questionable hit detection. I get why it was doing its spinning attack, but actually it might not have been. I might have just been parrying normal. Wait, did you? Oh, that's wild. The Judecca hit the Antinora there. It was going after it. Fights with Antinoras and Behemoths are interesting because Behemoths are like super liable to hit other demons, and Antinoras, if they get knocked down, they attack whatever knocked them down. There's actually a Bloody Palace floor that's kind of designed around that, where it's like 6 Antinoras and a Behemoth, and you can just kind of sit back and let the Antinoras do most of the work. I mean, that's not particularly time efficient, and in Bloody Palace that sort of matters. I mean, the timing in BP is super lenient anyway, so it's not that much of an issue. Nope. Alright. Those fights went pretty fucking well. The only 5,000 stylish points, that's kind of what I mean by this mission is remarkably hard to get good style in. Alright. I can actually come back to the statue after this next fight if I want to. I don't think I will, just kind of for the sake of it. So, let's see. Next fight's just a couple of chaoses, and it's the Fury. Then what? It's more fucking hells. More chaoses. Another Fury. Then a bunch of Angelos. I'm gonna want a bunch of Buster Arms in this mission, ain't I? Start that. Then probably another Overture and a Buster Arm. Maybe another Gerbera. Yeah, definitely like another Gerbera too, and then Ragtime, Overture, Buster Arm, and then Overture just for general use. Alright.
Right now. Let's get airborne.
You're a bitch. Your shell should have probably broken by now, but okay. I'm just gonna do that. Yep. There we go. Like the only practical application I've ever had for maximum bed is if you can just pop it off at a chaos that's getting ready to lunge at you. You can break it. Lunge probably isn't the right term. It's roll. Alright, not quite where I wanted to throw him, but whatever.
Okay.
There we go. Have I been hit yet? I don't think I have. That's very liable to change since there's a Fury in this next room. Which, I mean, I can just shuffle it, but if I fuck up the timing, I'll probably get slapped. Hey, bro. Let's get down here. Alright. Can I? Oh yeah. I really like the Fury Buster animation. Yeah! That's kinda what I meant. Fuck up the timing. There we go. There's actually 2 Furies in this mission. The second one's second to last fight. And that one you fight alongside a big bat. I should really figure that out. I should really try and actually remember which bat is which, but it doesn't matter that much. It's basically just one is a bigger version of the other. Which actually, that's really the only enemy type in this game that's like that. Considering Queen and Poos are pretty much a completely different enemy from normal ones. While big bats are quite literally just a bigger version of the smaller ones. They have effectively the same moveset. Plus the ability to spew a constant trail, but that's not a big deal. You want to stop running? I get that that's your gimmick, but come on. I really don't even know why I bother fighting those guys. It's mostly just for the hell of it. I am in no need of red orbs. Haven't been for months. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the game tonight. If I don't finish it tonight, I mean, I guess I probably can tomorrow. I don't know. I'll be able to get close, assuming I don't die. If I do die, then, well, that's that. If I die early, like if I die in Mission 12, I might fight Virgil just for the hell of it, but I'm not gonna do much else. This just because Virgil's a great fight. Where you at, Shineka? Fuck. Get out of here. That'll kill the Kaina too. Well, so the great thing about the Devil Buster for Chichekas is that if something else is nearby, you can pretty handily deal a lot of damage, if not outright kill them, like I did to that Kaina. Like, if you do it with the Buster on Breakage, those spinning blades do a shitload of damage. Oh, yeah, hard way was a bad move there, but whatever. You know, speaking of hard way, it is entirely liable that I'm just gonna show it off in case you don't know the name. That is gonna get me killed later on, because you are armored while you do that. And I have had an instance of fighting Virgil, and I do that against him, and he uses Judgment Cut, and I get hit by like 4 Judgment Cuts in a row and just kind of get shredded. It's great. Be careful. I'm not gonna do the optional Impusa fight over there. I don't want to bother. And I don't need the purple orb fragment anyway. I forgot to change the mission number again. I don't even know why I have that as part of the overlay, because I just keep forgetting to do it. Alright. It's going to be a Baphomet and a couple of Chaoses. And I think that's it. This is actually a pretty small fight. I want to say there's a Behemoth in this fight somewhere. I don't know if that's this or if that was like a LDK or something. I really don't remember. I think maybe that's on normal. It's kind of weird because that would mean this enemy formation is probably easier to deal with than the Devil Hunter one. That just don't make sense. Do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Alright, well, wasted half my DT. God, yeah, B combo does, like, no damage. There we go. Smooth. Alright, this next fight, bunch of bats and a Fury. Fury's gonna be the main issue there, but that applies to pretty much every fight with the Fury. I am concerned about Mission 12 for more reasons than just the boss. That's where the Fury introductory fight is on Devil Hunter. And as such, there's 2 Furies in that room on higher difficulties, which is super liable to fuck me up. I should be fine, but who knows. There's the Bloody Palace where you fight 2 Furies on DMD, and that's actually, of the 2 times I've died Bloody Palace as Nero, that was one of them. Nope. Alright, come on. I'm trying to throw you. Get over there. Alright, Fury. It's also going to be a big bat, but I'm going to see if I can get you out of dodge first. Fury's not coming after me right now. He's trying to get into a position to do his tells. Oh, never mind. I guess he did. And I wasn't. I missed it, which means it was the faint one, because that's the only one that's silent. I was about to say I heard him do one of his tells. Didn't see it though. Oh, is that gonna? Oh hell yeah! I'll take that. Is there a health orb in here on this difficulty? I don't think there is. There is on Devil Hunter. And there's a secret mission on the other path, which I'm not going to bother with. There's a DT orb though, I'll take that. Yeah, and then through that other door is a secret mission. But that is not important, and it closed anyway, so. And then this last fight's going to be awfully reminiscent since same thing applies with the Angelos in 4. There's just a lot of missions where you fight a Commander Angelo and a bunch of lesser ones. And it's a good enemy formation, at least in 4 it is. And it's not bad here either, I just prefer fighting the Angelos in 4. Altos and Biancos are much cooler than Protos and Scudos. But that's what I've saved all my arms for. So I can bully the ever-loving shit out of the Proto.
Take your time.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Is he already down half? Alright. See ya, dude. Actually, you know what? Not even gonna use the Super Buster. I'm gonna save it for something else. Because he'll be close enough to death anyway. then the boss doesn't matter, since it's like the prologue where, I mean, this one you literally can't win. You actually can win the prologue one, but this one ends automatically if you destroy the crystal. There we go. Mosquitoes. Proto's taken care of. God. I missed the Alto Angelo busters. That's actually the #1 thing that the Angelos in 4 are better at than the ones in this one. Is that their buster animations are way cooler. Where's the Batman? Get out of here. There we go. Alright, that mission's done pretty effectively. I mean, technically speaking, there's a bit left, but it doesn't really matter at all. I'm not gonna bother the divinity statue. If I die or defeat the crystal in this fight, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, strictly speaking, I should probably avoid dying since this is a permadeath, but it doesn't prompt a game over screen. Which is more so the criteria I'm working off of. There's a reason I said no continues in the description. Shit. Yep. Fucking Goliath fireballs are the attack I always have the most issue with evading in this fight. Because if he starts casting them when you're using like an approach, be it Snatch or Caliber, you're kind of fucked. You just kind of have to accept it, because you can't really dodge out of the way at that point. And then just when you're up in his face, I'm bad at the timing and they're pretty big. There we go. I've had my game crash here before, and let's hope it doesn't. Okay, now we're good. Yeah, man, see what I mean? This mission's a pain in the ass to S rank. That's the first A rank of the playthrough, and it makes sense that it would be on that mission. Alright, now it's time for one of the best missions in the game. Most of the fights in this mission are good, and the boss is one of the best, so you can't really top that. This is probably the best mission in the game overall, actually, either this or 16. Alright, let's see. Opening with an overture probably actually isn't a bad idea. Gerba. Alright. There's an achievement for doing this mission without using any weapons as Dante, which basically just means you're using Royal Guard and Sin Devil trigger. Pretty good time. Especially since this mission doesn't have the hardest of enemy formations. It has some, like, of the forced fights, there's some Kainas, there's a Fury, there's a Judecca, and a bunch of Angelos. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. This is an optional fight that I'm just gonna do. But none of those are particularly hard to Royal Guard if you want to do exclusively that. But worst case, you can build up some STT. Yeah, so Buster would absolutely do more damage than B combo. Everything does more damage than B combo. Alright. Actually, I wonder. I assume there's an invisible wall, but yeah. Wondered if I could skip a bit. It's also probably going to be the last mission. We're in mostly Cityscape. I mean, we are still technically in the city in Mission 12, but it's an extremely Clyphod overridden part, so this is kind of the last actual city mission. Considering 13 to the end are all in the tree. So I hope you like the Clyphod aesthetic, because I sure don't. Something I don't think I've shown off this yet, and I might show it off against the Judecca. Either that or there's an Antinora up ahead that's optional. But the enemies that you throw into the ground for their airbuster, like that, if you stick an overture bomb on them, it actually detonates on impact with the ground. So you can use it to bomb other enemies, and it's really fun to do in LDK specifically, because you can just blow up like fucking 10 other enemies with it. It's wonderful. I don't even know how this guy got knocked on the ground twice, but I'm not going to argue with free damage. Alright, dude. You gonna calm down? Dude. Dude. You okay? Do you need an adult? Oh, shit, never mind. That's probably my favorite tell, since he just straight up comes at you. It's really easy to parry compared to the other two, where you kind of have to feel for the timing, and I am horrible at doing that.
Let's get airborne right now.
Actually, there's an optional fight down here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. It's just a nobody, and it looks like, yeah, it's not much, but nah, I'll skip it. I don't even remember what this optional fight has in lower difficulties, because there's a blue fragment in there.
Let's get airborne.
That's kind of why it triggers a fight. But I don't remember what it was in Devil Hunter. Anyway. Antinora, I know you're over here. Come here, bitch. Let's wait for the Chaoses to spawn. I like that. Not practical, not in the slightest, but cool as hell. Especially on LDK. I mean, if you stick like 6 on them, which, you know, normally speaking, that's a complete waste of your Devil Breaker magazine. But if you have Breaker Switcher on, you can just, and Infinite Breakers, which is fun to play with, if technically cheating. You could stick like I think up to 4 if you use Ragtime on a single enemy, and that's more than likely an instant kill for enemy that you can do that with, and probably a kill at everything it explodes on. Alright, Judecca, and a couple of Kainas. It's actually the introductory fight to Judecca's normally. You wanna get punched? Fuck. Alright, well, I tried. He did attack me from off screen, which Judecca's are an enemy type I've known to do that. And I guess, I mean, their tails are pretty loud, which is kind of supposed to be the thing, but it still sucks. Considering most enemies don't do that. Alright. Alright. Hey, bro. You want to meet the same fate the last one of you did? Oh, except maybe a bit quicker. Hey, you want to come closer? Thanks. the Angelos kind of suck at that. The Overture Bomb doesn't detonate on impact because you don't throw them. But if the Buster kills, it still does, which is much harder to do, but is probably even cooler because you are basically doing an explosive suplex. You get that you're the last one alive, but did you really have to go into DT already? So my chart shot just kind of decided to disappear, huh? Alright. Either that or I didn't start it, I don't know. Weird thing about chart shot. In 4, because Nero shoots the rose when you press the button, instead of this game where he presses it only when you release it. There's this weird interaction where it doesn't register that you press the button if you start holding it during like a loading screen or something. So it won't start charging. Well, in this, I'm pretty much holding R2 the entire goddamn time, even when I'm in the shop. Couldn't really do that in 4. I could show my control scheme. I mean, it's not particularly special. But probably could, in case anyone's curious. Yeah, you know, fuck it, I'll do that real quick. Kill some time. Oh, yeah, actually, since I forgot to switch breakers too. Oh, that would have been... It wouldn't have been bad, but it would have sucked if I went to Cavalier without getting new breakers. But yeah, this is using switch button layouts, so you can probably just, like, switch A and B for in a normal controller. Anyway. Cavalier. I don't think you can Buster Cavalier in this fight. You can in the Bloody Palace, but since this is technically the Dante version, I don't think you can. So, not gonna fuck with that. Instead, I might just do a bunch of overtures and a couple of ragtimes. I might. And if I can maximum bet him at some point, that'll be sick. Actually, you know what? I'll do a stick a punchline in just for good measure. And you know what? Ah, no. I was thinking about putting in a pasta breaker. $1 DLC, by the way, pasta breaker. Totally worth it. I've used it like 2 times. Hope you don't like Table Hopper because you're gonna see it like 1 more time in the entire game. Yep. That's on me. God, that attack does so goddamn much. He doesn't really do that attack with Devil Hunter. That's probably why Cavalier is a much harder fight on Sun and Sparta and above, is because of that attack. And it's not hard to dodge, right? It's super telegraphed, but if you do get hit by it, that is some pain. Shit. Nope.
Take your time. Too easy.
You know, I was gonna go for a maximum bet, but it broke anyway. Oh, whoa, whoa, he's already in DT, huh? Alright, this is gonna be rough. He goes into DT that early. Most of the time bosses go to it when they're in like a quarter, but half, fuck. I've seen him do that again. I've seen King Cerberus do that before too, and that's rough. My Devil Breaker button wasn't working for a second there. You have to look out for this because he likes to do this into that attack, yeah. And my first time fighting him on Son of Sparta, that caught me off guard a lot because I wasn't paying attention to him when he was doing the lightning. This fight is so good. Shit, no. That was a complete waste of DT. Well, you know what? It looked cool. Which is the main thing Maximum Bet has going for it. Oh god, jumping iframes saved me. That would have hurt like hell. Nope. Been hit by that enough times. Nope. See ya. Got the air taunt max act, you'll love to see that. Oh, didn't expect the stun. So what are we gonna do? No? 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 Really? Didn't feel like going for it. There we go. That was a good fight. Dude, Cavalier is just such a fucking good fight. That is probably... I'd say it's second best boss in the game just because... Well, Virgil. But that is just such a good fight. Now we take a break from fighting really good bosses until Mission 16. Alright, Mission 12. I have a little bit of fear. This mission's rough. Like, we're officially entering the stage of the game where death is a legitimate fear. I mean, it's not like I haven't almost died a few times, mostly due to Proto-Angelos. But we're running into things where, like, I'm actually worried about bosses, mostly. Mostly Urizen, which, you know, I guess that makes sense. Shit. I could probably just bring, like, 8 Gerberos to this mission, because basically all of the fights are in... Yeah, I'm just gonna bring 8 Gerberos. That's extremely lame, but... it works. There's no Angelos in this mission. There's actually... Okay, how far in is that? There's a Queen and Pusa. How far in that is that? It's towards the end. I think there's 1 or 2 fights left at that point, so I'll just have it be, I'll have it be 4. Like, that's after the Furies. Yeah, okay, I know. Alright, I've got that planned out, yeah. Bitrate keeps fucking dropping, but I don't know what to do about that. That's normally where you get to dick around with Cavalier for the first time, as in the weapon, not the boss. This time, Nero doesn't get to fuck with a bike, unfortunately. Cavalier is probably my favorite of Dante's weapons, just because it's A, incredibly stupid, and B, really fun. Which, you know, it's really all you need to ask for in a weapon. The thing about Cavalier is that it's probably Dante's most damaging weapon, generally speaking. Real impact still exists. And on top of that, your armor doing pretty much all of its attacks, so if you're not too concerned about taking damage, you can just play like a complete idiot with it. And that's fun. Cavalier's air combo B, that's good stuff. See ya. I'm not gonna fight you. I have no reason to, because he's gonna die as soon as I enter this room. I've had instances where the Fury followed me into this room and then just keeled over right in front of me. Oh, that's still sick, yeah, killed. These, like, weird, like, regrowing bits are only in this mission and Mission 15, and I don't know why. They're just kind of here. They're kind of annoying, but not really that big of a deal. They're just weird. This other guy's totally gonna hit me doing this, yep. God bless DT damage reduction. I'm trying to think. After this, the last mission that plays character music is 15. So I'd probably consider changing it off Barrier of the Light since that's been playing for the last 4 missions, but there's not really any point at this point. Apparently you can do this mission without actually using any Nidhogg hatchlings, so now I'm curious about that. Oh, I could totally jump up there, can't I? Can I as Dante, though? I guess as Dante you could theoretically jump on the Sparta statue and then up there. But now I'm curious. Maybe? Maybe it's from here. Yeah, I don't have a Nidhogg hatchling, I know. Alright, you know what, I'm just not gonna bother. But it is possible to do this without using any Nidhogg hatchlings, apparently. I've never done it. I've only... most of the time I use one hatchling since there is a sort of skip you can do. Which I am gonna do here since I think I'm missing like a fight. Then maybe a couple of, I think, chaoses that are just kind of in a corner. That's really it. Not much. Hey fellas, I should have brought a rawhide for the 2 Furies, but I'll suffer for that mistake in a bit. Gotta get through this room first. The last thing I want to do is actually fight a bunch of riots in an enclosed space, so I'm just gonna do this. Pretty sure these are the last 2. Gerbera, huh? You love it. There we go. Alright. Now then, time for perhaps the single normal fight I've been dreading the most this playthrough. 2 Furies. There is a bit of a stagger between the first one and the second one, so if you kill this guy quickly enough, you actually don't have to fight both at once, but the odds of me doing that are not high. Too early, but I can do that. And I should have used the Buster Arm, that would have done more damage. Oh well. It was instinctive. Oh, and there's 2. Shit. Actually, if I get to like a corner like this, the second one might not be an issue. Yeah, if I keep the second one off camera, I should be fine. Okay. How are we doing? Shit. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's not dead because it was in DT, but that's close. Please die. Alright, that's one. With relative ease. Come on, bitch. Wow, that was a generous parry. Alright. That's that. Didn't even take a hit. I'll take it. See ya. Just some bats. I'm not too worried about fighting them. Okay. This room's also just a bunch of bats plus the Queen of Pusa. I probably should have made the Gerbera, the Buster Arm be 5th in line, just so I could Gerbera this room too, but whatever. I have to play the game more. What a shame. Why would I ever want to play Devil May Cry 5? Clearly. I mean, I clearly don't like this game if I have 180 hours and I'm doing a permadeath challenge of it. Alright, even a Super Buster totally is not going to kill, but it'll hurt. I should be stunned, yep. It shouldn't kill, but it'll hurt. Yeah, down to 100. That should do it, yep. Alright. That is the way forward, yeah. Alright. Yeah.
Riding high. Let's get airborne.
Oh, this actually... I thought there was another fight, but I think this is actually the last one I have to do for the mission. Honestly, I'm going to try and save as much DT as I can for the boss, because that fight is rough, so I'd like to enter it with full DT. As Dante, it actually doesn't matter if you conserve SDT for it, since as that fight is where SDT is introduced on a first playthrough, you actually start in Sin Devil Trigger, even on repeat playthroughs, so it doesn't matter if you have that built up beforehand. Normal DT, though. That's good. Normally you're supposed to like grab that Nidhogg hatchling and then go do the other thing down towards the bottom. You can also just do this.
Let's get airborne.
It's that easy. I skipped, I think, one fight doing that. It's not a huge loss. But it's convenient. It helps with getting an S rank. Alright, so as we come up on the fight, I'm not sure if I'm more worried about this fight or Mission 17, honestly. Mission 17 is like a better fight. But the thing about Mission 17 fight is that it takes so long, and he does hurt a lot. So I am worried about that fight, because this fight, if I frankly abuse Ragtime, I should be able to make it go by pretty quickly. Ragtime and a bit of Overture. Also, actually, I should probably just bring like 8 Ragtimes, honestly. I could bring some Overtures and try to stick them on him, but it might be safer to just use Ragtime and Showdown. I'll bring a Overture, just for the hell of it. Then, as usual, I'll have the last thing be like a Gerbera, just for that utility. Great cutscene that plays here. We're not going to see it though, since I am Nero. Okay, Yuri.
Take your time.
Shit. Yeah, that's on me. Shit. I didn't even know what hit me there, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, well, you know, I should have just brought like 8 Sweet Surrenders. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, actually. Shit. Fuck. Oh, I'm not playing well. Yeah, this might be it. Like, I have to play the rest of the fight super well if I'm gonna bring it back from this. Okay, nice turnaround, Urizen. Not appreciated. I don't even know what the active hitbox in that is. I'm not gonna mess with it. Alright, that's half, but he's gonna put the crystal back up here in a bit. Yep, there it is. And this isn't a bad fight, I'm just bad at it. It's frankly a good fight, I just suck. That's really it. This has been the fight that I've like always struggled the most with in this game. Because I mean, the first playthrough, this is the Sin Double Trigger introduction. It's basic. Are you serious? It's basically free. Repeat playthroughs though. Ugh. No, don't hit. And then when he goes into DT that early, it's not helping. He usually brings the crystal back twice. Ow! Okay, well, you know, yep, okay, I should be dead. I'm gonna be real. I should be dead. Probably will be dead here in a second. If I pull this back, I'll be impressed, but I highly doubt it. Like I said, I'll fight Virgil if I die, just because Virgil's a great fight and I want to show it off. But, boy, I have no... Oh, never mind. These things decide to drop corpse. I'll bring the crystal back up in a second here, and then I have to bring it down one more time. I'm gonna save DT for taking down the crystal again. The thing about this fight with Dante, actually also note, is that Faust, which is the most broken weapon in the game to begin with, consumes red orbs, but it has the absolute meme of a move that is Red Hot Knight, which is basically the hell and hell cheese. But Faust, it has another move, which is like the back move on it. Not even in Gunslinger, just normally. It's the only weapon, it's the only gun that has directional inputs outside of Gunslinger. But it surrounds you with a red orb shield. Well, shield is probably a strong term. It's basically just a bunch of red orbs circling around you, orbiting. That absolutely shreds the crystal. Too early, way too early, yep. I can actually totally bring this back. I didn't expect the tentacles to drop red orbs, or green orbs. I just have to not fuck up, really. Appreciate it. No! Oh, thank you, DTI frames. I totally should not have gone for the pay line there. I could have gotten hit. Too early, yep. Bad idea, bad idea. Oh, I should have been getting punished a lot more than I have been. Anyway, that's the last time he should bring the crystal up, so I just have to wail on him. Nope, out of here. That hits for a lot if I had gotten hit. I don't know if it would have killed, but it sure as hell would have hurt. Which applies to every attack when an enemy is in DT, believe it or not. Ow. Now it would. I'm absolutely gonna get hungry and go for it. I can get it now. Yep. Alright, I did not expect to pull that back. Woo! Oh, hands are sweaty now. Fuck. Didn't expect to pull that back. I actually expected to die there with how poorly the start of it went. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, I'll definitely take that. Been going for about an hour. I'll do through to mission 14. I'll stop after mission 14, because 13 and 14 aren't very long. And then I'll wrap this up tomorrow night, I think. Yeah, I can probably go for it tomorrow night. Since I don't have anything specific I'm doing on Monday, I don't think. Because this mission is short. Like, if I really want to, I could just bring a bunch of Gerberos and speed through this mission, but I will actually fight stuff just for fun. First fight's Lusaka. Actually, Gerbera first. Okay.
My road's out. I'll take the load.
I appreciate the effort. Good fight. It's weird that, like, of all of the enemy introduction fights, the Lysakia one doesn't have anything added into it in higher difficulties. Like, Kaina's, the Ampusa introduction has a Queen Ampusa added. Well, actually, no, not technically. The Kaina introduction has Death Scissors added to it. The Antinor introduction's actually the exact same, too. What else? Death Scissor introduction just has more. Riot introduction technically doesn't exist. I don't know, that one's weird. Small bat introduction's the same. Lava bat, big bat introduction has a Fury added. Proto introduction is that boss fight, so that is unchanged. Chaos introduction is mostly unchanged. I think it's just that there's a few more. Mission 15 is probably a good mission to start on, anyway, since I do quite like that mission. And it's not particularly hard. Oh yeah, riots. Mentally, I remember that the last fight of this mission has a bunch of chaoses, and that I've actually died to them before, so... Because there was a lot of them. So it's just nobodies in riots. A nobody in a bunch of riots, I guess. Shit. Oh, that's the 2-hit. You know, I might just leave. If I die in this mission, that would just be real disappointing coming off of how clutch the fucking Urizen fight was. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. See ya. Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with this sprinting riots. Not like this. Not like this. Oh, that would have been so disappointing. That would have been so disappointing if I died like that. So that's kind of why I was expressing fear of riots in the early missions. So that they can shred you. You know, one more. I just want to be, like, basically topped off. We're gonna sit here and break double arms for a second.
Here comes the knock. Double break. Double break. Double break. Double break. Open up, Garber!
Am I a coward? Probably. Am I alive? Also yes.
Run from this.
I'm honestly less concerned about fighting a bunch of chaoses in this difficulty than I am riots. Which is kind of wild, considering chaoses are supposed to be more dangerous. But supposed to is the key word there. Yeah, that guy got some air, goddamn. Ow. Okay. This is actually like the one mission that has like full bore co-op normally. Of course I have network off, so that's not applicable, but you can actually have all three normal characters fighting in this mission together, which is pretty neat. And also probably why there's so many enemies. It's a DT orb. I do want to kill these guys before I go, just kind of because it'd be lame to just leave. Heck. Alright, get out of here. Guess what, 5 of them? Gonna live with that. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I did not mean to go down there, but it happened. Oh, sucks that got cut off early, but what do? Alright, this will be the last mission for the night. This isn't a particularly long mission. It's technically the boss rush of this game, but it's kind of short. Like, the main thing about this mission normally is that it's pretty neat because you're fighting 3 bosses that V doesn't fight normally. But doing it as Nero, I don't really care. Yeah, I'm not putting much thought into my breaker loadout this time. This is not a hard mission. I hope you like walking, because we're going to be doing it for a bit.
Riding high.
Alright. Come on, trigger the thing. No? No? It went too fast. Alright. Alright, normally it kind of matters what order you do these in, but once again, I'm not playing as V, so I'll just start with Artemis. The way this mission normally works is that you fight these 3 bosses, Artemis, Goliath, and Cavalier. They are weaker than they are when you fight them normally. And you actually pick the order you're getting your pets back. You can start with any of the 3. I usually start with Griffin and Artemis, then do Shadow and Goliath, and then Nightmare and Cavalier. Game is frozen. Or, not frozen, but sort of not functional. Like here, how much health do you got, Artemis? 3,000. She has 10,000 normally. So you see what I mean by these fights being much easier. And that's also me. That's both because you're fighting them normally with the character you're not supposed to fight them with, and because you fight them back to back. And there's not really healing available to you on higher difficulties. There's a bunch of orbs around on Devil Hunter, but those are not there on this difficulty. There might be like a white orb, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, like there's a white orb over here, like Cav, which I'm not gonna grab. We'll grab that when I go fight him. If I wanted to stay up until 11 again tonight, I probably could finish this tonight, but I am not gonna. I'm tired, I'm probably gonna do this mission and call it. Hey Goliath, long time no see. You have 5,000 health, that's roughly half of what he has normally, so I'm basically just fighting Devil Hunter Goliath right now. Yep. Really? You're in DT, that only did 3? Alright, can I buster you? Yep. I hope this isn't Crash. It'd be wild if it did. But, honestly, I mean, this is actually a really well-constructed game, so I really shouldn't expect a crash ever. But considering how this is not supposed to be something you do normally, it's very possible. Like, really, the only times I've had this game crash are Mission 10 on LDK for some reason. And then sometimes on startup if I like try to alt-tab immediately, but that's mostly my fault than it is the game's. This is a very well-constructed game. I don't think I've ever run into a major bug. Hey Kev. Where's Nightmare? There he is. Hey bro, I feel like I fought you 20 minutes ago. I fought you way better than that. And with a lot more seating. No, I wonder if their health depends on the order you fight them. Cool, wild if it did. It would make sense if it did, but it'd be pretty wild too. Also, something I didn't mention when fighting Goliath is that, I mean, you can also see this in the Bloody Palace, but there's actually a unique kill animation with V if you have Nightmare out, where Nightmare like kind of shoulder checks Goliath out of the way when he's trying to hit V and smash him. And then V rides Nightmare's fist and stabs Goliath. It's a pretty cool animation. And it's kind of nice that he has it. What we saw there was the generic Buster animation, which I guess I'll touch on, since it's relevant. The generic Buster animation is used against the Urizens and Cavalier, since they are bosses that Nero does not normally fight outside of the Bloody Palace. For some reason, though, King Cerberus actually has a unique Buster animation, which I guess means I should have saved this conversation for that fight. That's just always been something that's weird to me. Is that, why didn't they make unique animations for the other bosses then? My best guess would be that it's because the King Cerberus animation is relatively basic. It's not super long or anything, it's basically just he just hops on Cerberus's back and stabs him, and then walks off. It's almost like a repurposed version of the Queen and Pusa one, but not quite. But then he just does the box standard punching and kicking for Cav and the Urizens. Pretty weird. Alright. And on a normal playthrough, this would be it for V. This is the last mission he has. V has 4 mandatory missions, and then he has 6 you can play him in total if you pick him in missions 17 and 13, which... No, I'm not doing that. I really only do that for the achievement. I'll take the stylish points, though. But yeah, no, that's that. Missions 15 and 16 are the only, like, proper missions left. Arguably 18. But 18 is really just a chain of boss fights with, like, a couple of Impusas in between. And then 17, 19, and 20 are all just boss fights, so we're getting pretty close. I can finish this tomorrow night pretty easily. But I'll call it there. I'm tired. Hope anyone who's watching this enjoyed. And I'll